Featured speaker, Mr. John Crestani.
Or what? That's what he said to me. Or what? So here I am, a up-and-coming young whippersnapper in a Los Angeles ad agency, and my boss was basically Harvey Weinstein, but fatter, sweatier, and greedier. And I'm preparing to have a meeting with him. Now, the main client I was working on, their name was Greenlight Financial, and they were spending $80,000 a month on online ads. And I got them up to spending over $2.5 million a month. And the only reason they weren't spending more was because they physically didn't have the staff to handle all the new business. And the agency I worked for was making an additional $250,000 a month in profits based on the work I did. So I felt naturally that, I should have deserved a little more, maybe an incentive plan, a raise, a promotion, something. Now, I rehearsed this meeting with my father, who is a talent agent in Los Angeles, and we did some role playing. We went back and forth, covered, different questions that may come up, different objections, and, I walked in my boss's office to the meeting. He was sitting across the desk in his chair, and I sat down, and, I gave him my spiel. I said, look, I've been doing a good job. I'm making the firm an extra $250,000 in profits a month, and I'd like to discuss getting some sort of incentive plan, raise, promotion, something. And I was silent. And he sat there, unbroken eye contact, non-blinking, and he leaned back a little bit and said, or what? Those two words shook me to my core. I was raised to be a good employee. My dream was to climb the corporate ladder. I was raised to be loyal, hardworking, and results-driven. And here I am staring at, or what? And the one question I had no idea what to do. So I went home and I kind of did a post-mortem of the situation of the meeting earlier. And I thought to myself, what would I have said? What should I have done? There were only two possible responses to that question, which is either I quit or I'm open to being poached. Now, months earlier, I had the CMO, the Chief Marketing Officer of Greenlight, had taken me out to drinks, and he offered me a job, staff, expense account, and a significantly higher salary. And relying on my grandfather's wisdom, which is you leave with who took you to the dance, I politely said, no, thank you. Another company had tried to poach me as well. Same situation, but also they offered me, stock options in the company as well as one of those new Teslas, if I said yes on the spot. To a 24-year-old kid, that's a pretty appealing offer. But I, once again, relied on my grandfather's wisdom and politely said, no, thank you. Now, in retrospect, my boss, the smart thing for him to do, he should have given me something. He had given me an extra $2,000 a month. I would have been perfectly happy, and I would have, still been probably in my suit and my pants, working my ad agency job, been climbing the corporate ladder. And I don't know if you've ever felt this way before, but where you have a dream, yet you can't seem to get there no matter what you do. You feel trapped, boxed in. That's how I felt. And sitting in my apartment that night, I had a realization that the corporate ladder, corporate life, being an employee, wasn't for me. And I had to become an entrepreneur. Amongst other things, I've taught over 20,000 people how to kick the corporate ladder, work for themselves, be entrepreneurs, basically running their own ad agencies on Google, Facebook, YouTube. And ironically, I owe it all to the Harvey Weinstein doppelganger because he opened my eyes and made me see the corporate dream, the American dream, is a myth. Or what? Or what? Or else I'll do it myself. And you can too.
Yeah! John Crestani! Yeah! All right! Fantastic!
It's worth it to buy John's program because you can double, triple, even quadruple your money in a very short amount of time.
I didn't really believe it at first, but then I did more research and did it myself, and it worked.
I've been with John's program for a few years now. I remember when I first started out, making my first $100 was a big deal. But I've stuck with John's program and changed my life completely. Able to afford a mortgage and just live the lifestyle that I want right here in Vegas.